What you need to. Okay, you got me now.
You got
I
me
don't
now?
see you.
Okay. You don't
I
see me
don't see
yet.
You
you.
don't
I
see
just
me
see
yet.
Bamboozle
Okay.
Lovely.
Okay.
All right. Hold on.
All right, hold on.
You gotta turn. You gotta turn two of these too. You gotta turn me up too. I got you.
I got you. There you are.
All
All
right.
right,
Now.
finally. Finally.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hit that share again.
Hold
Hold
on.
on
Now we
now. We
got
got share the
this.
camera.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Give
Give
me
me
just a
just a
minute
minute
here,
here.
and we will
You
be
got a lot of
live with this.
feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Now's not the time to be cutting. Go.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Everybody
Everybody
with
with
me?
me?
You
You
here?
here?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
we
there
go.
we
We
go.
look like we got
Look like
a
we got a
show
show
going.
going.
All
All
right,
right.
we
We
ready
ready
now?
now? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All
Give me
right. Give me
one
one
second to
second
get
to
my
get my
thoughts
thoughts
together
together
now.
now.
Since we
Since
got
we got
everything
everything
back up,
back
but I
up, but I
still hear
still
the
hear the
reverb
reverb
there,
there,
Zeke.
Z.
It's very
It's very
loud.
loud.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
Oh yeah, there we go. Now we got it.
Now we got it.
That takes care of that.
That takes care of that.
Okay. So now you can hear me. All right. That's me there. Um, all right, everyone. I want to apologize for our little late start. We set everything up, and then then like you say, the gremlins sneak in and try and catch us off guard. Okay. So um, welcome to Bamboozle Live by Lavallee, and today's show we're going to do a little thing that's going to be a little bit different. As you see, I'm down in the studio. I'm down in the back of the house, really. Back in the day, I don't know if you're from the South, then you know what a back porch is. And when I was a kid, this was our back porch. And eventually, your back porch turns into your den, and then your den turns into whatever else it becomes later on. And later on, this has become my workspace. So for doing the sterling work that I do, or any metal work, or anything that I want to put together in the house. Because when it gets cold outside, I got to come in from the shop and come into the house. So this is kind of what the view is today behind me. This is actually, like I said, my workstation. Okay. Before I introduce my guest today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her and where I met her. She is a master pioneer in the lock world. Back in the 90s, when locks became something that became a little bit more, and locks have been around forever, so that's not nothing new. But for us to start wearing them on a be positive, to go to work with them and do what we wanted to do on a day-to-day basis, that didn't happen until the 90s. And in the late 90s, they started having they started doing hair shows. The first one that I think that happened, I'm not really sure about this, but I know I went to a hair show at Long Island City College in Brooklyn, New York, and this was in the 90s. And in the 90s, I had already started developing my products. So, and one of the products I had was a hair product. So or accessories, should I say. So I went to that hair show and I met Miss Nakima Evans, and I may have started my adventure into the hair world, natural hair world. And eventually I did a hair show in Atlanta with Talia Wajid, who's now around, and you can find her products and everywhere. But Maria was also one of the people that I met at that particular show. And that was the World Natural Hair Show, and that was in Atlanta, Georgia. But she and I both were living in the North. She lived in Connecticut, and I lived in New York City. And occasionally we would see each other, and so we formed a relationship, and we've had a relationship for since that particular time back in the 90s. And we've always seen each other at least once or twice a year when we do those natural hair shows. And like I said, that business has become very, very well known to everybody now. And she was kind of like the first person who ever did twists and curves. And so now today she's still the instructs people on how to do that. Um, so with that being said, I am getting ready to introduce my guest, and I want to introduce you to Miss Maria Thompson. Okay, how you doing, darling?
I am wonderful. I'm excited to be here with you. Finally, we're getting together. This is awesome.
I am glad to have you. That's for sure. There's nobody I'd love to have more than to talk about hair and do that kind of stuff um, with me. So you're going to tell them a little bit about what you do and what you're going to do. Okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Good evening, everybody. Hope you all had a wonderful Friday. And again, I am Maria Thompson, owner of Twist and Curves, and I specialize in braids and locks. And because of the climate, more focusing on online training. So if you want to be a loctician, thinking about being a loctician, or you are already one and you'd like to enhance your skills, then I'm the person to talk to. But today, what we're going to do is some quick lock styling tips to just kind of whet your appetite in terms of what locks entail. I'm also going to show you some quick styles using my own hair, as well as I have my faithful mannequin here, which we're going to pretend are locks. And I'm going to do some quick styles on her too. But first of all, I'm going to answer some of your questions in terms of how do we start locks? What's the best way to go about starting locks? And one thing you should keep in mind is that we have a variety of stylists that all come under the umbrella of stylists. You've got, like, as far as natural hair is concerned, and we'll then segment it, you've got natural hair. And underneath that umbrella, you have the stylist that specializes in natural hair only. Then you have those that specialize in locks only, and they're called locticians. And then you've got those that do braids and twists and all those sorts of things. I kind of do all of those, but more as the years have gone by, I focus more on braids and locks with a tendency to more locks. And you'll see why, because I love all the different styling options that we have with locks. And so I have fun doing that. Now, to find a loctician, the best way is to make sure you do your research properly. Because like I said, just because someone is a natural hair stylist does not mean she does locks. A lot of people feel all I have to do is take the lock, twist it, and boom, voila, clip it down where the locks are groomed. There's so much more. If someone comes to you with lock issues, you need someone who's able to explain to you what's going on. The locking process is a journey. So therefore, you need someone who understands that journey and will be able to walk you through all the nuances of starting and maintaining your locks. So to find someone, you want to make sure that you go online, see if they have a website, see if they have a social media presence. You want to take a look at their pictures, do your own research, so that way when you come to the table, you've got questions of your own that you can ask, and you're not just sitting down there oblivious to what they're saying. Now, there are several different ways that locks can be started, And in order to do so, all of those techniques need to be explained to you. And one of the other questions is, can all textures of hair lock? And the answer to that is yes, all textures can lock. The difference is that we use different tools and we use different methods in terms of the tools that we use, and that's all based on your texture. We also use a crochet needle, and that would be used for interlocks. This would be used for interlocking, and there is a difference between a crochet needle and a latch hook. Okay, if time permits, we'll get into what the latch hook is used for. So you can do a comb twist, which are comb coils. You can do a 2-strand twist. You can do interlocking, which is the crochet needle, and you can do latch hook. You can do lock extensions. All of those things is what you want to sit down with your loctician, and she will be able to advise you the best course of action to take. Now, some of those techniques can also be based on your texture. You've also got sister locks, which are the micro locks. Those are the really teeny tiny ones, the ones that Maria hates to do. I'll style them. I love to style, but I am not going to sit down there for 10 to 20 hours installing sister locks. They look absolutely beautiful when they're finished. So again, make sure you do your research and find out what is the difference between sister locks and traditional locks, because one might be better suited for you based on your texture. So we've got the sister locks, we've got traditional locks, which is what I have, and we also have Instalock. Instalock is when you have, say, for instance, 4 to 5 inches of hair, and you do not want to start your locks from scratch. You don't want to go through the palm rolling, the comb coils and go through that messy phase. You know, you just want your locks to lock instantly. Yes, that can be done with your own texture here, and a crochet needle is used to do that. So you want to make sure that if you go to someone who says they can do that, that they're also showing you pictures of their work, so that way you can see what the end result is going to be. Now, then you've got lock extensions for those who have short locks and want longer locks because they want to be able to do styles right away. That would be lock extension. And like I said, please, please, please make sure you do your research. All your questions are answered. And that way you're going to be walking out the door with what you walked in there for. All right. So those are kind of the basic tips that I wanted to give you to start with. I'm going to get into some style. Of course, I've got a lot of information that I want to give you. So as far as my styles, and of course, let me pull back my hair so you can see my Bamboozle earrings. As he said, I've been with him for about 20 years, purchasing his products, and these are oldies but goodies. These are classics. So, and as you can see, I love my mismatched earrings. There's nothing that says we have to do things the same. You do you. Focus on you, and don't worry about what everybody else has to say. So, my curls. How did I achieve my curls? I love curls because it's one way that once I've curled it, I don't need to do anything more. Over the days, this will just start to drop and get longer and just loosen up, and I just love that. And I can put it up into some styles, which you're going to see throughout this broadcast. Now, how did I achieve my curls? I made sure I left one here on the side for you. These are called lock nuts. And basically, what I did, let me get to the end. Oh, I've got 2 in here. So all I did was twine the locks around, and to take them out, all I have to do is that. And that pulls them all out. And I think I've got another one here. And I think I have one over here too. Don't you just love that? So you can go from this length to this short, just so you can see, okay? I love that because as you can see, when my whole head has just these in there, full of it. My hair comes up to here. I live in Florida, and that means it's out the way. And I just simply love that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand it back to Lavalley. He's going to show you some lock ties and some goodies that he has in store for you. And I'm going to get ready to do you some quick style with my dear friend here.
All right, all right, all right. Hey, hey, hey. So I'm so glad to see everybody in the house, and I'm sure you're just loving what you're learning about how to do your hair. All right. So,
Questions in the meantime, you can put them in the chat and I'll answer them while Lavalley is talking.
okay. Um, am I on right now? Yeah. Okay. Like I was trying to tell you in the beginning, I went to some of the hair shows in the very beginning because I developed an item that was for the hair. Back in the late 90s, I went to a show. I do the Capitol Jazz Show every year, and I was at the Capitol Jazz Show, and I was out there in the sun, and I was putting up an awning so that the sun wouldn't burn my ear spears all up, so they wouldn't be so hot on people. So, and while I was doing that, I reached up and I had a thing called a bungee cord that you use to try and hook two things together. And so I had the bungee cord, and I was using the bungee cord, and I started thinking about the bungee cord, and I said, oh, I wonder, could I do something with this on a smaller basis? So when I looked around, I had this particular little bead in my possession. Okay, so this is a little bone bead that comes from Nigeria. It's got a piece of wood in the center. And so I decided I would make that what I consider to be my lock tie. And so I created this lock tie. And this was in the late 90s. As you can see, it's no more than a small bungee cord. I put some elastic on it. And the elastic, you just take it and you put it over the top like that. And so then it becomes very, very strong. Won't go anywhere, won't break, doesn't come out, and it'll hold your hair. And so this was the creation of one of my other creations, and it's called the lock tie. I did register this particular product, registered the name lock tie at the time, and this was in the 90s. A lot of people I never pushed this product. This is a product that I always carry along with my ear spears and my jewelry. So it's not something that I've really pushed ever since I eventually made it. But I've continued to make other things that would help my hair. And this was the thing that I would use to hold my hair up in terms of holding my ponytail. So this was one of my first creations with the hair items. And so this was the very first one that I had. So and now I'm showing you this because this is available to you. Today I'm gonna let you have them. They're $10. This one is the one that's called Batik, and sometimes it's in a star or it'll be in another black and white pattern, but it's always some kind of black and white, and it's Batik. Okay, and it comes in different sizes. I'm going to show you my size chart. Okay, do we have my item up first of all, Zeke, the item number 1, or the sizes that these come up in? Mr. Zeke is going to get that up for me. In the meantime, I'll show you some of the colors. They come in red, blue, black, green, whatever color you want that to be. It's made out of bone, and it's a stretchy elastic, and it comes in different sizes. I have it in small, medium, large, and extra large, depending upon the amount of locks that you have in your hair. Okay, so and again, these are going to be for $10. If you want the Batik one is going to be item number 1. Okay, and then all the colored ones are going to be item number 2. Item number 2 can be any color that you might want it to be. You can have it in that particular color. Okay, So, and in whatever size that you want that item to be in, okay? So that's the way, that's how I started with the lock ties. Okay, my third lock tie, item number 3, is going to be this bamboo lock tie. I decided to make one out of bamboo. So I take the knot of the bamboo and put a design on it, and you get the same thing. It can be small, medium, large, extra large, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's item number 3. Item number 4 I have is going to be the cowrie shell. My cowrie shell is just a cowrie item. It's a big cowrie shell and it's elastic, so it does the same thing. It becomes a ponytail holder. Okay, so and that's item number 4. So, and if you want these items, like I said, you just have to let me know the size. That's very important, and the color that you want them in. Okay, and item number 5 is going to be a little bit of special item. It has 2 cowries on it. It's my latest one in the cowrie series, where you could like, instead of it being just one, you can have it on different locations on your hair, depending upon how much of your hair you want to put inside of the cowrie shell. Okay, so and again, like I said, that's a very simple construction. This just goes over the top like that. You slip it over the top, your hair is in between it, and it's held in place. Okay, so that's the lock tie. All right, so I think my guest is just about ready again. So I'm going to turn it back over to her, and I'm hoping you're enjoying this little series. We're doing something a little bit different, so I hope you kind of go along with it. All right. So, Maria, you have.
Okay. Yes, we're back. We're back. And I have another quick styling hack for you. So in this segment, I'm going to show you how I achieved the style that I have right now. And then I'm going to talk about products that we can use in our locks. Okay. So to achieve what I did, it was just with the use of a lock tie. And as you can see, I'm wearing mine. And this is what I call my bun with accented with bangs, okay? In England, we call them fringes, not bangs. I just love it. All right, so we're gonna pull the hair up into a ponytail. And you can pull it as high up as you want. You can either bring it forward or bring it back. It all depends on how you like yours. I kind of like mine forward, so that's how I have this. So now we're going to take the lock tie, but I make sure my accent piece, I'm going to make sure that that's at the back, okay? Make sure all the hair is in. Once it's in, I'm going to take my lock tie, I'm going to turn it around, and then I'm going to bring it forward. But in bringing it forward, this is where I create my bang. And I'm going to pull it up to as far as where I want my bang to go. Okay? So as you can see, I don't bring it all the way, the hair all the way in. We just go part of the way, and then I'm going to fan the hair out. And then I've got my bangs. Now, for a lot of folks, we love the messy look. Okay? So you can either keep her, messy, as well as you can neaten it up, bring the bangs to the side, to kind of keep it sassy. And then you can take a pin. See, the beautiful thing with locks is we do a lot of lip and tucking. And I can tuck that into the hair right there. And then I've got something at the side going. And then I will just bring this down to where I need it to go. So there you go. We have a quick bangs. And then, you can just fix it to make sure it's the way you want it. All right. So like here, it's a sticking up like that. You want to bring that down with some pins. So that way it stays in place. And if anything is where it shouldn't be, we just tuck it. All right. And this can be done based on the length of your hair. So, if your hair locks are shorter, then you might obviously get shorter bangs, and you still can create a bun, but you just have to fix it based on the length of your hair. Okay? Trust me, I couldn't wait for this segment because I really wanted to get my hair up and out the way. Yes, up and out the way. And as you can see, I am sporting my mismatch bamboo on one side and my ear spears on the other. If you have been following me for years, you will know that the ear spear, since I've known Lavalley, it has become my signature. So I've always done mismatch earrings, and I love my ear spear. So it's not something I'm doing just for the show. A lot of people know me for my mismatch earrings. So products. Let's talk a little bit about products, because sometimes there's misunderstanding in terms of what products can and cannot be used on locks. So the one thing that we want to keep in mind is that our locks are no longer loose naturals. So the products that you can use on your loose naturals is not what you can use on your locks. Okay? So you might, for instance, you might hear people say, well, shea butter is good for your hair. You're right, shea butter is good for your hair, but terrible for locks, especially if you're really taking out a lot and you're plastering it through. It's just going to sit on top of your locks, not penetrate, and cause buildup. That's what you do not want. So let's start at the beginning. When you're going to shampoo your locks, what we're looking for is a good shampoo. Okay? Now, it's clear, it's not thick. Let's see if we can, as you can see, woo, it's clear. All right? And this is one of the products that I use by Nefertiti Secrets. I love her line. And the next, so let me take it in order before I move ahead of myself. So a good shampoo is what you need to shampoo your locks. That's where you're going to start. Now, typically with loose naturals, your next step would be to condition your locks. Well, with locks, this is a step that, depending on who you go to, most of us do not use conditioners on locks because it is too thick. And the rule of thumb with locks is you want to make sure that you avoid anything that's thick, rich, and creamy. Those products tend to build up in the locks, and that is something you do not want. It is not a good look. Not a good look at all. So what we'll do is you shampoo the hair twice. Now, for the first one, we're not going to worry about sudding, because if you worry about sudding on the first wash, what's going to happen is you will use pretty much the whole bottle. So you just want a little dollop that fits into the palm of your hands. And basically what you're going to do is take that shampoo and you're going to pull it through, but you're going to put it on the scalp, okay? Move the hair open and put it inside on the scalp, and then you're going to lather it up. You're going to add a little more water, and then, that will help to disperse the shampoo, and then lather it up. What you can do is take the ends and bring it in, massage it all in, and that way, you might get some sudding depending on the shampoo that you're using. But if this doesn't all sud on the first wash, don't worry about it, okay? So that's when you're going to massage the scalp. That's the first wash. The second wash, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to, put our shampoo on. Now, sometimes you might need, like 2 handfuls. Well, I should say not handfuls, just in your palm. And again, you're going to bring the hair and bring it all through. Here's a key when shampooing locks. You cannot shampoo the same way you do loose hair, because these are thick strands, as you can see, thick strands of hair all tightly coiled together. And we want to make sure that that shampoo is penetrating. So when you're shampooing your locks, you want to wash them like you are washing clothes. You're going to rub them together. And by doing so, you're loosening up any buildup, products, debris, dust. You're doing, you're loosening them up. What I do when I'm shampooing mine, I tend to go like this. I'm a little tender headed, so there's only so much of that I can do. But I take like the ends and I get it in there and I massage it onto the scalp. Another thing that does is any buildup that you might have at the base, that will help to loosen it. Okay. So like I said, you can take it and just rub it up and make sure you take the locks and you give it a good scrub. You're going to shampoo and wash like you're washing clothes. Okay. You got to get in there. All right. Now, as when you're rinsing the shampoo out, make sure that you squeeze as you're going, because what you're doing is making sure you're releasing everything from the locks. The same thing when you start, when you're wetting, the wetting process, you want to squeeze to make sure that the water penetrates the locks really good. Again, like I said, the second wash is where you're really going to get a good sud, because the water has penetrated and that way the shampoo is dispersed really good, okay, when you put it in on the second shampoo. So make sure you squeeze as the water is running through to make sure everything is out. Once that is done, and you notice I took a lot of time on that because I get a lot of people who come to me that do their locks themselves, and when I shampoo, oh my goodness, it's a lot of work because they think they're washing their locks really good and they're not at all, not at all. So when that is finished, I know you're asking the question, well, if you don't apply conditioner, what do you do? I use a leave-in conditioner. That's what we use. A lot of us use. Now, some locticians will use a conditioner, not a leave-in, but a regular conditioner. But what they do is they put it in a spray bottle and they dilute it. Because I can guarantee you, if you on your own take that conditioner out and pull it through your locks, it's going to sit on top of your locks, and sometimes you don't get it washed out properly. Okay. The other thing too is be careful when listening to others, because someone will say to you, well, I use conditioner on my locks and my locks are perfectly fine. They might well be, but your texture and my texture is totally different. What your locks can handle, mine can't. And sometimes those who say they don't have buildup is because they're not shampooing their locks themselves. So they really can't see what's in there. All right. So you want to make sure that when we do condition the locks, but we do so by using a leave-in conditioner. The next thing we use is an oil. And today I'm featuring Tando Cafele. This is his oil. And another way we condition the locks is by doing a hot oil treatment. So this oil can be used for maintenance as well as a hot oil treatment. What I'll sometimes do, like even right now in the middle of my wash, I will squirt some leave-in conditioner in the palm, add some oil, I'll do a cocktail and rub them together and pull them through. Okay. Just one more tip with locks to remember. Oh, she's falling down. When you're oiling the locks, to make sure that the tips are well nourished, you want to make sure that you bring your head forward and pull the oils and conditioners through to make sure that the ends are well oiled and taken care of and moisturized, especially the hair at the back. So you're going to pull your head to the front and pull the oils and the conditioner through, the leave-in conditioner. Let's not get that confused. So that way we make sure that the locks are nourished. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that segment. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat and I'll answer them. Back to you, Lavelle.
All right. Look, you're so thorough, man. I mean, I'm getting it all. I hope my crew is getting it too, because you really laying it out the way it's supposed to be laid out. Really and truly. I'm loving this segment. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I'm enjoying it, and so I'm going to go ahead on and show you some more of my lock ties. after my bone lock ties, within the last couple of years, I started doing something a little bit different. I was able to figure out how to plane my bamboo down into a flat board that had enough depth in it for me to go ahead on and put some different symbols on the bamboo, cut the bamboo different ways, and maybe do some different things. So I started making these total bamboo lock ties within the last couple of years. I'm not going to say it was last year, so I'm going to say within the last couple of years. And again, like I said, I don't put a lot of emphasis on my hair things that I create. Normally, I usually create them for myself, so when I try and share whatever it is that I've done, I'll share it with everybody else. So in this particular one that I'm going to show you is going to be my first bamboo lock tie, and it's going to be the Ankh. So it measures probably about 1.5 inches in terms of diameter. And as you see, it has the elastic also. Let me pull one up here for you. You can see that's the front part, and then it has the elastic. So now my secret with this particular one was to figure out how I was going to seal it so that this part here stayed in there. And so I make up a mixture of a resin, and then I can color the resin, and then I can put the resin into the cavity here. So, and when the resin dries, it dries with the elastic inside. So it's very, very strong. It's not going to go anywhere. And like again, it works the same way that the bone one worked. You just slip it over the top, and there you have whatever you're going to use in terms of your, the symbol that you decide to use on it. Okay, so this first one that I'm showing you, which is the Ankh, I'm showing it to you in black and white, and I'm showing it to you in the brown, or do I have the brown? I make them in two different. Not styles, but I try and stay with the brown or the black. And so for this particular show, and I'm offering the brown and the black for $10. These normally sell for $15. And if you want a color in any of these with the Indinkra symbol, you just have to. You're going to have to give me an extra $5 for the coloring, but I'll color it whatever color you might want. If you want a basic color without it being chartreuse or something like that, but in terms of blue, green, yellow, or something like that, if you want that particular color as a lock tie in the bamboo with a symbol on it, I'll do that for you, okay? And it's just for an extra $5 that's necessary, okay? So my item number 6, is that my item? My item number 6 is the Ankh, and my item number 7 is going to be the Africa. And like I say, all of these are available for $10. So here's the Africa. My next one is going to be the Gainame. All right. And that's Accept God. After that, we have the, I think, is it the Dewafe now? I'm sorry. Yes, that's the Dewafe. Okay, and that's the comb. That's the feminine one. Okay, and that's item number 8. Am I correct? 9? That's item number 9. I'm sorry. All right, and I'm showing you a little couple of pictures with how they are used in the hair, or how you get to hold your hair up in many different ways. Okay. And like I said, it could be any color that you might want. So, and the last one in this particular series is going to be the my newest one, which is going to be the fist, the Black Power symbol. Okay. And again, these brown ones can be available in a black or a color. It depends on you and what you want. You just have to order it that particular way. Okay, So that's the bamboo. And next I'm going to do one more, and this is the sterling silver one. Am I correct? See? Okay. So after I made the bone, then I made the bamboo. And I used to do these bone ones in a lot of different ways. And people that know me from a long time ago, they know I used to do a real big ankh, and I do a very big cross piece. Every now and then I find some lady who used to buy those who wants me to give them that again. So I go out and try to find it. But my last item here on this particular little segment is going to be the metal one. I do this in silver, and I'm also able to put a design on it. But the creation of it, I'd like to talk about just a little bit because it's kind of special too. You see the design of it. I created all that, it's adjustable. The elastic, you can adjust the elastic to different thicknesses of the hair. Okay, so you just determine whether or not you want it to be large or not large. Okay. All right. So my dog is calling me, and Maria is ready. So I'm gonna let her go ahead on, and then I can take care of my dog Jake here, who's at my feet trying to tell me something. Okay. All right. So Maria, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to show you another quick lock style using the mannequin. And then I'm going to share just some quick tips with you in terms of locks and do's and don'ts. Okay. So this one again is going to entail bangs. So what we're going to do, we're going to section out the portion that we want to use for our bangs. Make sure you've got it even at the front. And then what I'm going to do is just bend it over. Okay. And this is where you just kind of look, make sure that it's positioned where you want it to be positioned. Okay. Maybe pull it over to the side. We can fix that afterwards. But right now, we're just going to lay that down flat. And what I'm going to do next is secure this right here. So I'm going to go over. So back here, I'm basically just doing a crisscross. And what that's going to do is just hold the hair, the bangs in place. Okay. And it just creates a nice little style going on back here too, that I will show you once I'm finished. And we're just going to go over back and forth until we're at the point where we're as low as we want to go. All right. So this is where I am right now, just to show you. And then what I can do, and I can turn it around, I can either go down further, and I will. So I'm basically bringing the hair over, and let's grab two more. Then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take these two that I have and bring it around and create a ponytail. So there you've got a nice ponytail going on right there. I like to create textures within my styles. Oops. And as you can see from this, at the back, I've got a crisscross going on, and I also have my ponytail. Now, you can do several things if you're a loctician, and this is where the styles really take you above. And like I mentioned before, above and beyond, sorry. And as I mentioned before, I do teach classes. Styling is something that I really enjoy doing, and a lot of people know me for my styles. This is one style right here. I can take this, and the amount of things that I can do with this are endless. I can do lock barrels, I can do braids, I can create a whole nother style going on with the lock barrels or the braids, and just kind of intertwine them and do all kinds of crazy things, you know, make a bun with them. I mean, that's just something quick right there. Okay. Now, and so if you're interested in learning more about lock styles, please feel free to message me, and we can tell you. I did put my information in the chat, so you can always check that out. Now, with the bangs, you can bring that to the front, fan them out how you like, or you can bring them to the side for a sassier look. And as far as the side is concerned, if it's not laying down, you can just take a little pin and that will secure it in place, okay? I want to show you one more quick style that I love this style because it's a quick bun, but at the same time, you can make this just evening or daytime look. You can use a scrunchie or a head tie of your choice. And I'm going to put Lavalley on the spot here. You can also, if you want it for a fancy occasion, you can always commission him to create something for you. Because Lord knows I'm always bugging him for things that I like and I want. And he's always come through. So I'm going to do what's called just a quick bun. Okay. I should have used a different tie there, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is take an elastic band, okay, and I'm just going to grab the ends, okay, and I'm going to put the ends through the elastic band. So basically, that's what I have. Can you see that? And then what I'm going to do next, oh, I have some hair missing here. Let's get you in here and just tuck you in there. So what I'm going to do is take the ends of this and I'm going to pull it through the back of the scrunchie. And what that does is it gives me a nice quick bun, okay? Now, I like to get creative. You can take a bracelet of your choice. This is pretty because you've got some, diamond things going on here. But if I didn't have that, I could also use a bracelet. And I've got a completely different look right there, okay? And you can use a bracelet of your choice. If you want it to be subtle, you could use something like this. But I like the ones that open, see, like this, and just kind of pull it around. And you've got a completely different look. If you were getting married, you could use baby's breath, stick some flowers in there, and voila, you have a nice quick look. And be careful not to get your locks caught in the bracelet either. Okay. So now we're gonna, as time permits, and Lavalley, please interrupt me because I don't have a clock if I'm going over.
No, you're
so
fine.
What we're gonna do is talk about for 5 minutes some quick tips that I do want to emphasize, and that is lint. A lot of you have misconceptions about lint. There is a difference between lint and buildup, okay? Buildup is caused by too much products, using the wrong products, not shampooing your hair on a regular basis, and conditioners. All of those things can cause buildup, which if used with a good shampoo can be taken out. Okay, with a good scrub and a good soak, it can be removed. However, if you have lint in your locks, it cannot be taken out with a shampoo, apple cider vinegar, or baking powder. Sorry, baking soda. Let me repeat that for those in the back who didn't hear. If you have lint in your locks, baking soda, apple cider vinegar, shampoo, clarifying shampoo, purifying shampoos will not remove lint. The reason why is because lint is um, pieces of particles from, say, your scarves, blankets, things that have lint and pieces on it that get embedded inside your lock. So when you have lint, it's all the way inside. So once you start to, and some people say, well, you can pick it out. Go right ahead. Because if you pick out that lint, what it's going to do is weaken the lock. Because remember, that lint is now a part of your lock. So you start picking away at it. Like, for instance, if I was to try to take the red out of this lock, I would weaken it because now I'm stripping away at the lock. So no, lint cannot be moved. So the question then remains, how do I get it out? How do I get rid of it? We don't. What we do is we camouflage it. We camouflage by using color. And I know, a lot of you don't like color on your locks, but what you can do, you can use a semi-permanent, and yes, it is going to fade over time, but you know, it's a quick fix. Or if you use permanent color, sometimes instead of pulling it all the way through, because remember, the lint is not all over your locks, you might want to, which takes a lot of time, but if you go to a professional, they will know what to do. And you can just kind of paint on the areas where the lint is really bad, okay? So that's one way that you can take care of lint. The other thing that I wanted to kind of touch on, how are we doing for time, Lavelle?
You go right ahead, love. We're fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
So just one quick thing as it relates to the lint and apple cider vinegar. So yes, when do we use those products? You can use that for detoxing. It's great. You can do a nice lock bath with the apple cider vinegar and baking soda, and you can fill the shampoo bowl with these products and just allow your locks to soak, and that can take about 20 minutes or so. You know, you can speak to your loctician about that. The other thing is a lot of you like to use shampoos that don't contain any parabens in them and sulfate free. But when you have a lot of buildup in your locks, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you are going to need a little clarifying shampoo or purifying shampoo to remove the buildup that you have in your locks. Okay? Now, here's the trick. Your first shampoo is going to be with a clarifying or a purifying shampoo to help remove any buildup that you have. But the second wash, that's when you use your sulfate-free shampoo, okay? And again, my feature for the evening is Nefertiti's shampoo, and I love it, along with her leave-in conditioner, all right? And then the oil that I use is Tando Kafele, and he's right here on Facebook. You can check him out, and Instagram too, as well as Nefertiti's products. As far as my maintenance and grooming, that's where I use my twist and lock gel. It's clear and it's not going to leave residue. Here's the main tip you want to take away. When you've got locks, the rule of thumb is less is more. That's it. The less you put in there, you don't have to worry about buildup. You won't have to worry about lint because you're not putting all these products in your hair. And just because you've got long locks or short locks, or you know they look dry, that doesn't mean that you pour gobs and gobs and gobs of oils on your hair. Because yes, even though it's oil, it can also cause buildup. You know why? Because it attracts all that dust. And some of you are shampooing your hair yourselves. You're not going to a loctician, which means when you do shampoo, you're not shampooing and cleansing your hair thoroughly, pulling out all those extra things that don't need to be in your locks. Okay. So I'm going to sign off because I've got so much more I can tell you. But I do have a booklet for those of you who are locticians or know someone, and I have a lot of information in here. Okay. It's like the handbook that you can keep at your station. It's filled with information. I have my information also in the comments. So if you have any questions, please do not be afraid to call or ask. I, don't have a problem answering. Again, this is Maria with Twist and Curves, specializing in braids, locks, twists, and natural hair. And Lavalley, this has been a pleasure. I thoroughly and completely enjoyed this evening. Yes.
I've enjoyed this evening. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this. So, before I let you go, I'm going to do one more little thing. And we do have a poll on the screen right now. So I'd like to ask you to go ahead on, and if you have time, to check out the poll. And I hope you saw that Sister Chakotay Deming said hello to you. She's in the house.
Nice.
We've known her forever, so she finally checked in with us to see what was going on. So we're glad to have her in the house, and hopefully she did well in the storm. I know the Sally just went by our house, so I hope the wind wasn't blowing too hard. It didn't blow any of the shingles off, okay? So for my last little part of the evening, I wanted to introduce you to something else that that came up while I was working on putting together my hair things. Right here, you see, this is a piece of fishing line. Hey, Jake, shut up. I'm sorry about my dog. My dog's starting to holler. It must be somebody or something outside of our door. Okay, but this is a piece of fishing line. So you might have to excuse me for a minute because he's Jake. Stop. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is a piece of fishing line. I'm sorry. Piece of fishing line, and I take this piece of fishing line and I put it together like this. Okay. And I take my bead. This is one of my bamboo beads that you can see. It has a hole in it. Okay. I make them, and I make them different sizes. I make them different colors and so forth. But you take the bead, you take the fishing line that's been double, and you put it in through there, and you make a little hoop like this for an eye. You can see it. So I've done this part right here. Okay. So when I do that, you take the hair. Okay. You take the hair. You grab the end of the hair like this, and you put the hair. You grab the hair with the little fishing line, okay? So then you just give it a nice little pull, and the bead is onto the hair. So you see how simple that is? And these beads are 50 cents a piece. They're made out of bamboo. And like I said, I make them all different colors and different sizes. You just have to tell me what size you might want it, okay? So I'm sorry you're having to hear my dog, but the other one that I do is a thing called a cut cowrie shell. Okay, so I'm going to show you. This is my little cowrie shell. And the interesting thing that I decided to do with this cowrie shell, I'm always trying to do something a little bit different. Okay, so I cut the back off of the cowrie shell so that it looks like this. Okay, you see this end and this end. Okay, it's like a little T. All right, so I take that cowrie shell, and I take my little needle that's made out of the fishing line, and I thread it the same way. I thread it through the back. Okay, thread it through the back so that I have the little needle. I grab a piece of the hair. Now I'm going to put this one on one of these over here. Let me see. Here we go, right here. Okay, so you grab the hair, slide it on, pull it down. I hope you see the back. Pull it down through the back like that, and then just pull it on up to where you want it. Okay? And so that way you don't have to sew the cowrie shell into your hair. You just actually pull the cowrie shell onto your hair. One of the bracelets that I make, I discovered this little technique in terms of trying to pull the elastic out. So when I developed this little technique for doing that, it led to the other things that I have, which is the bamboo beads and the cowrie shells. I figured out a way to be able to do that. Also, the cowrie shells can also be buttons. So you can use them to sew something onto your hair, or you can ever actually use it for a different way. You can put a scarf in through it. If you actually get the bigger cowrie shell, you can put a scarf and put the little edges through there, and then you'll have the little cowrie in the center, okay? So I have a lot of little uses for the cowrie shell, and I use it a lot in my work, and that was one of the things that I do. So they're available also online in our bamboozlejewelry.com or website, and that's bamboozlejewelry.com. That is my website. You can find the shells, you can find the and the bamboo jewelry, okay? So I'm hoping that you guys have enjoyed this particular show this afternoon with Maria. I would love to have her back because she's so informative in terms of the hair. Here she is one more time. I'm going to let her give a little final goodbye because we've had more people join since she was on at the last little second here. Okay, so can we do a little split screen there for a second there, Zeke? I can't hear her. Oh, no. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Love it, love. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I know that all my family members here enjoyed you, so we look forward to having you back again, okay?
I would love to. I would love to. You all were fabulous. Thank you very, very much for having me. And for those of you who joined in, thanks for coming in. I really do appreciate.
All right, everyone. Won't keep you any longer. If you need to see this show again, it's available on YouTube. You just go to your YouTube channel and look for Bamboozle by Lavalley, and you can find this particular episode. It's going to be our last episode, or you can watch it again on Facebook, okay? So thank you all again for joining us. Goodbye. Good night.